All right, I got 9:02. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is another wonderful morning here, although a little dreary here in Central Florida. It's cold, not so rainy, but just overcast yuckiness. But hey, we're here, right? We're on the right side of the earth, and very glad that you guys have decided to join us this morning. I do have a special guest later on, and very excited to talk with Mitesh from Freedom, and he's going to give you all the good news. But as we normally start the call, today is February 7th, 9:02 a.m., and we are back at it. And our mission, again, guys, is to improve the lives of our community with affordable health care. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being a part of that mission, and thank you for serving your community. And one way you do that is by being on these calls, because you're going to get fresh updates, you're going to get some ideas, thoughts, trainings, to improve yourself and to take care of those folks that you serve. So thank you for being a part of that. We do have training on the calendar as we normally do, so I'm going to pop that open for everybody to see. Just as a reminder, if you're joining by phone, that's great, but we also have a video as well. So in the future, give that a shot. I always send out the link to the computer meeting as well, so that way you can follow along with some visuals, which is a little bit easier to do. But in case you miss a call because you're with a client or you have an event going on, just know that these calls are also being recorded. So for training for this week, today at 11 o'clock, Devoted is doing their coffee and chat sessions again. That is just basically to answer any questions that you might have regarding Devoted. They are available at your disposal. Any questions they will answer, hopefully. Today at 3 o'clock, Clever RX is we are doing another intro webinar at 3 p.m. today. And again, guys, this is for the discount prescription drug card. It is an awesome way to generate leads, to reward your clients, and to earn a little bit of extra passive income, which is what we do, right? So that's at 3 o'clock today. There's several sessions this week that I'm going to mention about that. And then later this evening at 7 o'clock, I will be hosting the HPM Shop live webinar. And this is an overview for HPM Shop. So if you're not familiar with our quote and enroll tool, that is you're going to need to use that in order to get set up to do your Medicare Advantage enrollments. Okay. Those of you who have been using it, thank you. It's been a long ride, and there's always improvements to make, but we don't want to be learning the software in the middle of AEP. So please make sure that you jump on a session to learn how to use our quote and enroll tool for Medicare Advantage. Moving over to Tuesday, February 8th, we've got a deep dive on HPM Shop, and we're going to talk about all of the great tools and tricks that you need to know about that. The overview is the first stop, and then the deep dive is obviously the next way you want to go. Moving over to Wednesday, another HPM Shop live overview. Big training on Wednesday at 10 o'clock. PALIC, this is Philadelphia American Life Insurance Company, and we are going to be talking about their alternative ACA product for those folks that just don't fit right with ACA, or they need some additional coverage to supplement their ACA coverage. We did a meeting last year with Brent Crawley, and he is going to be hosting another session, this time completely online at 10 o'clock on Wednesday. So if you're in the ACA space, or you just don't want to dabble with ACA at all, this is a good thing to do. Great commissions, it's percentage wise, and some of the agents are really doing very, very well with this. I'm surprised at the response that we've gotten from PALIC. Lots and lots of people really interested in this type of product. So jump on there at 10 o'clock. The meeting link is in the training calendar. Also, Brent will be sending out links to those folks that attended last time, just as a refresher as well. Wednesday, 7 p.m., another Clever RX training there, so you can jump on there as well. Moving over to Thursday, Devoted's doing another coffee and chat session, this time at 11:30. This one's for the Jacksonville market, but all are welcome. If you have questions regarding Devoted, they'll be there to answer them. 12 o'clock on Thursday, a Clever RX training. On Thursday, that's at 12. And then at 1 o'clock, we're doing an overview of HPM Shop. And then a deep dive session at 7 p.m. on Thursday. And then Friday, Clever RX at 9 a.m., deep dive for HPM Shop at 1 p.m. We're even doing some Saturday sessions for you guys that are pretty busy during the week. So we're starting to do some Saturday sessions. If you are interested, if it's easier for you to jump on a Saturday, we're going to have our HPM Shop live training at 10:30, the deep dive at 11:30, and then we're also going to start doing some Clever RX trainings at 1 o'clock on Saturday as well. So that's the training for the week. The only thing other to mention is if you cannot make any of these training sessions for HPM Shop, the link is available for you to find the pre-recorded version at 8 a.m. every day of the week, so you can find it there. And as always, guys, we must keep one foot in the classroom and the other one in the field at all times. Whether you've been in this business for 17 minutes or 17 years like myself, we always have to be learning. That is just the way of the game for this specific industry. So thank you for being a part of that. All right. We did mention the Clever RX. I do have a little bit of bad news to share with you guys. 2 weeks ago, well, almost 2 weeks ago, we had an incident at our West Colonial office, and the restaurant next door had busted a pipe. And unfortunately, it has flooded our West Colonial office, creating some significant property damage inside. So we are temporarily closed at West Colonial until further notice. I have the team working remotely at this point. We're doing our best. We may have pop-up locations to serve you, so we are experimenting with that, trying to find a couple of places where, if you do need kits or supplies or some additional help, we're going to be doing our best to help you out with that. So I really appreciate everyone's patience as we've had this act of God happen to our organization. Lots of moving pieces in this. I'm talking with the landlord and the adjusters and all this stuff, so it's a hot mess right now. But West Colonial will be closed until further notice. It does not affect our Jacksonville or Zephyr Hills locations. So if you are in those markets and you need help, those locations are still up and running, so no problem there. But again, we're here to serve you any way we can. The team's still available. We still have our 800 number, and but we will be working remotely for the most part. Okay. Any questions or concerns on that, please let me know. I'm glad to help in any way we can. We're glad to meet you. Whether it's at a Starbucks or at Mitesh's office or wherever we've got to meet, we can meet. Okay. All right. I am excited to share with you some good news, and that is going to be that we have some contest winners for AEP. So we finally put the numbers together. And if you remember from the video presentation that I sent out to everybody, the AEP contest was supposed to go out on a cruise, but unfortunately COVID's going to, not really allow us to do that. I want to take precautions. I know some folks are taking that very seriously, but we are looking at an alternative trip, possibly to Clearwater like we did 2 years ago. So basically what we were doing is if you hit 50 points or above, you were invited at a no-cost event on the cruise. But I do want to tell you this, that trip that we are planning, all are invited. But the names I'm about to mention, these folks have a free ride on that trip, okay? Some of them from our top producers will have a +1, and some of them will have a upgrade, to a suite or a balcony or a better room, and then everyone else will have a base entry level, just to get into the hotel that we're going to be staying at. So here it is. Here's our AEP 2022 contest winners. Congratulations goes to Eduviges Irani, Sandra Morales Zabata, Philip Coffin, Joe Falk, Brenda Powell, Henry Villota, Ramilda Pierce, Stalin Jaquez, Preston McLean, Mark Oster, Eva Tretto, Kent McGaw, Teresa Aguilar, Kelly Harrington, and Tanisha Richardsons. Congratulations to all you guys for hitting 50 points or above during AEP for 1-1 effectives. All of you will be getting an email shortly with details. Again, we are still working out the details regarding the trip itself. We were planning on going on a cruise, but that just doesn't look like it's going to happen. So we are working out the details for April. So early April, we are planning a trip. So thank you guys for your patience on that. And congratulations to those folks that won. We'll be sending out another email as well. Okay, moving on. All right, quick update here regarding HPM Shop, and I'm going to share my screen here. I know you guys are still working hard at helping those folks during OEP. We're seeing enrollments on HPM Shop. Thank you guys for using HPM Shop. Makes it very, very easy. But one thing I do want to point out here, and I'm going to go quickly just to jump into the plan section. Sometimes we're running into veterans, and those folks specifically do not need prescription drug coverage, okay? And certain health plans have MA only plans. And I know some of you have reached out and said, hey, look, we're missing some plans on HPM Shop. Just keep in mind at the very top, as you can see on the screen here, the very top of the screen, it's broken up into sections. So you have MAPD as the first tab, and that's the default tab. Then you have the second one, which is MA only. Then you have prescription drug coverage only. And then the fourth and final tab is Medicare supplements. So if you are helping a veteran or somebody that just doesn't need prescription drug coverage, don't forget that you've got to pop over to the second tab. And in Orange County, it's showing that you've got a couple of options there with Humana's got 2 plans, United Healthcare's got 1, and Freedom Health has 1 as well. That is a MA only plan, meaning that it does not have prescription drug coverage attached to it. So just as a reminder that you've got to switch that tab if you're looking for the MA only products. It's not missing. It's just that you've got to switch that plan, okay? So I hope that helps just as a quick reminder on that. We did have a couple questions about AOR changes. And what we're going to do is create a document because, yes, you do have the ability to become agent of record for certain members that are on certain plans. Now, not all health plans allow agent of record changes. Some of them are very specific on how you do an agent of record change. But we will have that information shortly. I can tell you that the ones that pop up to mind are Aetna, Cigna, Advent Health, Health First. I think Kelly had shared with us as well. WellCare does allow it. And then Humana on certain circumstances. Okay, so it's case-by-case basis with Humana, but what we'll do is we're going to create a document and we'll share that with you on, AOR changes, who allows them and who doesn't. And then if there is an AOR change allowed, how do you go about doing it? Because we have several health plans that just don't participate in the AOR changes, and that's fine. We just need to know which ones do and which ones don't, okay? So if you do have a question on that, you can always reach out to your sales manager and they'll be able to do that for you. Now, before I turn it over to Mitesh from Freedom, just one quick last update. We do send out every 6 months in our system to update your information with us, and that includes contact information, your phone number, your mailing address, your emails as well, because we want to stay in contact with you. The best thing you can do is please make sure that you take an extra 5 minutes to fill out that information that we send every 6 months, just to make sure that you haven't moved, changed your phone number, or added an email address. And we do this on purpose because we recently sent out tax information and gifts and things like that to your address, but you were not there, or the address was not put in correctly, which made it so we've gotten some return mail. So guys, please take a short time and just update your information. We want to make sure that, if we have a check for you, that it goes to the right place. If, some of you guys are waiting for your W-9s to get returned to you, and we can't get them to you if your information is incorrect. So please take time to do that. Now, all right, I've got a special guest on the line, Mitesh Joshi from Freedom Healthcare. He is our leader here specifically for Central Florida. And Mitesh, are you on the line? Can you hear us okay?
I can hear you. Can you guys hear me?
Oh, yeah, you're perfect, man. Awesome. Well, Mitesh is an old buddy of mine. We've known each other for years, and he's got a relatively new position at Freedom. He just completed his first AEP as a manager there. So congrats to you, buddy. You survived.
Yes, we all did, didn't we?
I know we did, and so today we're going to have Mitesh. He's got the floor to talk to you guys about Freedom Healthcare, some updates, and any great information that he might want to share with you. So, with that, Mitesh, it's all yours, buddy.
Thanks, Justin, and thank you, team. Thank you, Justin, Tom, and Sergio, for allowing me to give me this platform. And again, thank you. Congratulations again to all the winners for working hard this year during AEP. Phenomenal job. That's a great thing that you're doing for your agents there, Justin. I know AEP this year was kind of the first post-COVID AEP, I guess you can call it,
Hmm.
and I'm and I'm glad everyone did so well. And I'm sorry, I don't have my screen on today. I am in actually California, but I made sure that I woke up at 6 a at 5:45 this morning. I wanted
Woo!
to make sure I did not miss this call for your team, Justin. So
Thanks,
thank you for
buddy.
allowing me
Appreciate
to be on
that.
here. Absolutely, absolutely. So a couple of updates on our side here for 2022. As you know, Freedom Healthcare and Optimum Healthcare, we are the plan here this year that we made a few upgrades in our plan from the previous years, and I want to go over those with you, just so everyone has an update on the pulse of the market and where we are. Right. So first and foremost, our sister company, Optimum Healthcare, achieved a 5-star rating. So that's great news for anyone
Awesome.
that's in that market there. Now, Central Florida is generally a freedom market, but that doesn't say that doesn't stop you from selling the optimum market plans, especially if you're looking for a 5-star election. We do have the same network between both health plans. So Freedom and Optimum do have the same provider network. So if you are enrolling somebody between both plans, just understand that the network benefits are the same. The plan benefits do differ between both markets, though. So I do want to make sure that everyone has that information in front of them. Number two, just to kind of piggyback on what you said about the AOR, Freedom and Optimum, we actually protect the AOR, so we do not change the agent of record. So if you have somebody that you enrolled into one of our Freedom Health or Optimum Health plans years ago, and for any reason they qualified for one of our dual plans or one of our chronic plans, you would still remain the AOR. Our even captive team or even telesales team at corporate could do that plan change for you, and you as the agent would still remain AOR, which means you still remain and get the commissions.
Mhm.
So which is phenomenal. So you don't have to go back out there rewrite them. We can do that for you on our side, and you would still remain the agent of record, which is great because you've already brought in the member, and we will service them for you, which is always the hard part, right? In our business is following up and servicing. And talking about servicing, um, everyone got their AEP check from us. We paid out our last month around the 10th or the 14th of January. And one
Mhm.
thing you may have noticed for everyone is that we true everyone up. So whatever the AEP, whatever CMS put out for 2022 is what you are going to be being paid, even on your retro business. So anything you sold 2, 4, 6, 8 years ago, you are paid at the new CMS rate, which
Awesome.
which is which is fantastic with the way the economy is going. It's nice to make an extra couple of dollars on your members that you're already taking care of and servicing.
Yeah, it's like getting an automatic raise every year. That's awesome.
Absolutely, yeah, right. So it's always there for you, and we've been the plan that always kind of kept up with that, and we want to show our loyalty to our agents, um, like yourselves, to make sure that you guys are getting that benefit out of it. Now, some of the changes and some of the questions that I'm getting in the market, and I want to make sure everyone is aware of this. One, that we have actually opened up our health assessment tool here on our side, and it's done directly through what's called our VIP agent support site. So I know Justin, our IT team is working onto a way to integrate our post enrollment verification, which is basically the health assessment tool where you answer a
Thank you.
few questions. Yep, yeah, and that's been the biggest challenge on our side, which is how to integrate our technology with yours. And again, my job as understanding the different platforms that I've worked with in the past, I want to make sure that I can take my knowledge from the different platforms and our own existing software and make sure they work together. So we are working on that for the team. With
Awesome.
that said, if you are looking this year, what we've done is we've added that extra health assessment, which we're giving every agent an extra $65 once you enroll onto any of our health plans. So it could be any plan. It can be our dual plan. It can be our chronic plan. It can be a standard core plan. After every enrollment, and it has to be done through our through the VIPagentsupport.com site, which is the same site that you're going on to check your enrollments, to check your commissions. If you're doing the enrollment through our site, the application will automatically populate. It must be done time of enrollment. So it has to be done at the time of enrollment. Right now, we do not have a feature where you can do it later. So it continues on from the enrollment, but it's a $65 payout on top of your commissions that you're getting. So just for staying with that member for an extra couple of minutes after the enrollment, it's a $65 payout on top of the CMS payout that you get paid out, and that's across all of our plans for 2022, which is a great option.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of highlights that I do want to everyone know is that we have a plan. We've got several plans in the market, specifically our chronic special needs plans. This year we've enhanced our chronic plans for 2022, and so just make sure you're understanding how those plans work. But all of our chronic special needs plans do give your member a $25 food card. There is a food card built into all of our chronic special needs plans, which is a phenomenal benefit because our chronic plans, some of our chronic plans also have a Part B reimbursement or Part B buy down of $130 this year. I keep saying next year because we're already in 2022.
Right.
No, so it's $130 for 2022 plus another $25 food card. So this is an additional benefit that we've added on for your chronic members. If you have people already on the books, you don't have to do anything. We're automatically mailing out the cards to them. It's called a healthy food card for the chronic special needs plans.
Awesome.
All right. So this is something you definitely want to look into. And again, feel free. I will share my contact information again and with you, Justin, just to make sure you can cascade it down to your team. So we can go ahead and make sure that the team has my information all the time. Sometimes it's just as simple as I'm not sure if they qualify, and this way you can leverage me and say, hey, let's start looking at their medications, their prescriptions to see what they're taking, to see if they do qualify for one of our chronic special needs plans. So that's something I definitely want to make sure you're taking advantage of. Why is that so important? We are in OEP, right? So they can make that change from MA to MA, but what happens after OEP? You have to find an election period. So we want to make sure that the election period is an easy way to find election period, especially again with our sister company Optimum being 5-star, and then using our chronic special needs plan as another election period throughout the year. We want to leverage that health plan and keep writing business all year. And the way to do that is by understanding the plan and using myself as a resource to make sure you're writing the business continuously.
Outstanding, man. Outstanding. And so, yeah, and one thing just to point out again, because I think folks forget, Optum was 5 stars years ago, and you guys have been hovering at that 4.5, and Freedom is 4.5, which is fantastic.
Correct.
I mean, you guys are doing everything the right way. But guys, I know that sometimes we forget about Optimum, especially in Central Florida. But Optimum being 5 stars gives you year-round enrollment opportunity, and it is available on HPM Shop. Just don't forget about that. I mean, Mitesh is absolutely right. It is Freedom Country, but we're not seeing a huge amount of Optimum sales, which is surprising to me because it's got such great benefits, and it is 5 stars. So don't forget about that. That's your ace in the hole there.
Yep, absolutely. Thank you, Justin. Yep, that's correct. And then our biggest enhancements that we made last year for 2022 now is our dual product, and our dual product for our partial and full for both plans. So this is Freedom and Optimum. which has the exact same benefit when it comes to our dual market, which is the biggest enhancement as everyone's been talking it up, which is our $65 cash card. And that's huge. That's a huge benefit. It looks like a bank card that has the branding of either Freedom or Optimum on there. It comes with, and they come in there. It comes in the mail to all your existing members and your new members, and all they have to do is activate the card and set up a PIN, just like how you would do when you receive a new debit card. And that card has a $65 every month allowance on there, and it does roll over month to month. So it is a rollover card on this cash card. Just remember, the cash card is only for the dual population. So if you have somebody that you're sitting in front of that's a full dual, and even a partial dual, that's definitely a great benefit that you want your members to know about, especially when they need the additional help. And as Justin says, we're here to serve, right? That's our cause here, is to serve the community, and to make sure that when you're sitting in front of that person, your job is to do one thing and one thing only, is to serve them the best plan that for their needs at that very moment. Everyone's needs change on a day-to-day or month-to-month basis. And so I want to make sure that everyone knows that for 2022, we've added on some additional value-added benefits for your members, and which is something we've never done in the past.
Oh yeah, and you guys and your sister company is participating in the cash card, but it's a unique piece that no other health plan is doing. It's pretty awesome.
Correct, absolutely, yeah. So it's a plan that it's a new benefit that we've put together. I know there's a lot of questions around it. I'm definitely, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, call me on how it works in detail. I'm here to answer those questions. And I'm sorry to hear about the office space, Justin.
Yeah.
But again, if you think that you need materials from either Optimum or Freedom, feel free to come to our Orlando office. We do have several offices. We have offices in Orlando, Kissimmee, and even in Volusia County, right in Orange City area. So depending on where you live or what's closest to you, feel free to reach out to me, and I will make sure that your team, Justin, has kits ready to go between the three different parts of town there for you.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
we do have questions around the cash card, and one of them that keeps popping up. Kelly had just texted us or on the chat. He's asking, does the member get 1099 because $65 pushes them over the tax limit as far as income's concerned? Can you talk a little bit about how you guys have kind of handled that part of it?
Yeah, absolutely. So great question there. And great question, Kelly. Which was, again, we want to make sure that we protect the agent, and we want to make sure that we're not giving false information. So protect the agent's license. We did put a disclaimer in all of our packets that stated that they will receive. Freedom Corporate will attempt to collect information about that actual customer or your member, to send them a 1099 for 2023. So it doesn't come this year; it comes next year. So they will receive some type of tax document as long as they're depending on when you enroll them, right? Because it's under $600 is what the IRS mentions to us. So depending on when you enroll and when they went effective, if they had a cash they received a cash card that was over $600 over the course of the year, they will receive a 1099 next year, and we will go ahead and actually and we will actually send out. We will do the on our side. We actually reach out to the member, collect their name, social security, and then send and mail it out to them in 2023. The biggest questions we receive also is, what's that going to do the status of Medicaid, right? So what's going to happen to my Medicaid status, and how will and what will happen? Will that affect my Medicaid? As you know, we want to make sure we're transparent as possible. So do they have can they lose their Medicaid? I'm not going to say yes or say no, because it depends on how they file their Medicaid application. So they have to make sure when they're filling out that Medicaid form that yes, they are receiving an extra $65 in income. But again, they will receive a 1099 next year based on how much they how much they earned. Now,
Okay.
your members can turn off that $65 feature,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. So if your member feels like, hey, I'm getting to that $600 threshold, there is a feature where they can turn off that $65 for that 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. And if they turn that feature off, that basically states that do not top off my cash card with any more money for that month or those next months. And if they stay under that $600 threshold, then they're not subject to that $600 IRS limit.
Right. So this cash card is, I'm assuming that you guys will probably be watching that and sending notices or calling the members to say, hey, you're close to your threshold here. Is Freedom doing
So
that, or?
no, unfortunately, we're not able to send out any notifications saying that you are close to reaching your $600. So that
Mm-hmm.
would be something that you would want to let your members know, especially if you enroll them for 1/1
Right.
and so on, right? So that's something, but they will, they will be receiving phone calls from us asking them for this information.
Got it. Now, do they still get 1099 even if they don't use the cash card? Because a lot of seniors get it and then they just kind of leave it there and they forget about it. If they don't use it, do they still get 1099?
They
Do you
still get
know?
1099. They
They
still
do.
will get the 1099 because the money does roll over month to month, and it does roll over 6 months after 2023. So it's not a use or lose it benefit. So because they have access to that cash, then they'll be able to go ahead and they will receive that 1099 document. But the best way to stop that, if you're in fear of your member losing their Medicaid status, is to go ahead and use the opt-out for a service for them.
And that puts everybody in October, by the way. So right around October, when you should be talking to your members anyway,
Yep.
that's when you should be talking to them about, hey, look, have you, you're getting close to the end of the year, with Freedom, you could get a 1099. It's a good idea right here in October to go ahead and turn it off. So that way they don't get the additional $180 that puts them over the limit there for the year.
Correct.
So I would say
You got it.
check in with your members in October. Everyone should have um, a good idea in their CRM system when they should be talking to those folks in October. But I would say anybody after, I guess that would be from 4/1 effectives are safe. They don't have to worry about it because they're only going to be on the plan for, 9 months out of the year, per se.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. So just coming, just at the coming out of OEP and anyone coming into that dual plan, you definitely want to take advantage of that because that will be a mute point since they will not be subject to that $600 or more.
Exactly. Now, I know we're a little over time, but I just wanted to ask one last question for you,
Absolutely.
Mitesh. You're a fellow agent. You've been out there pounding the streets. You've got, you've helped clients. You've been captive. You've been broker. What do you see out there that agents should be doing as far as marketing? What should they be doing to grow their book of business? What do you see out there that if you were out on the street again and doing what we do, what would Mitesh be doing today?
So Justin and team, I will tell you this industry, and as everyone knows, I see a lot of familiar faces on this call today. This industry's changed. Doesn't matter, like you mentioned, if you've been an agent for 17 minutes or 17 years. Um,
Mhm.
this is a relationship business, everyone. You have to build relationships in the community. You have to build relationships with your providers, and you have to build relationships with your current book of business. And no particular order, but we are in the relationship business. It's not how it used to be 10 years ago where somebody would just hand you the Medicare card and says, sign me up for whatever you think is best. There's a lot of plans out there, which is great for our members because they get to choose, which is the best plan for them at that time, right? We have in Central Florida, as a lot of you know, we have a lot of physicians that you can choose from, which is also great because it gives your member the best option for their situation at all times. So we are in a relationship business. So as a previous agent out in the field, make sure to understand that you are always connecting, always connect with your physicians or your providers, I would say. And maybe it's not always the primary care doctors. Remember, connect with your specialist, connect with the ancillary companies, connect with the DMEs. Some of these, depending on who you're using, and what you're selling. So if you know that, hey, I'm going to market the Florida Eye Clinic because I know Freedom uses Florida Eye Clinic. Connect with them,
Exactly.
right? So there's a lot of agents' business cards and trifles and everything in the primary care doctors' offices, but how many really are in the specialist office? How many are in the ancillary offices? Very few.
Exactly.
Right. So make your and let people know what you do and what you're there for. Let them know that you're there to help them and relate with them and that will definitely get you that type of that referral base that we're looking for, right? Because we're in this business of helping everyone, and at the same time we're making a perpetuity off that every single month. So
Absolutely.
you're leveraging your relationships. If I could tell anybody that, if somebody told me that somebody that 15 years ago, hey, this is a relationship business, leverage those relationships, and I guarantee you do that, you're going to end up doing the right thing for your member, and which is going to give you the best results that you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Referrals is number one, and like you said, Mitesh, this is a relationship business, and if you don't have a good relationship with both your members, your doctors, or any community services out there that you're working with, then you're just not going to get the business. And yeah, you said it great, man. Specialist office, there you go, guys. I mean, big part of a missing piece and puzzle, because you've got 900 agents on top of each other at the primary care doctor. You don't need to fight for that business. If you're going to the cardiologist or the eye doctor, like Mitesh mentioned, there's great opportunity out there to build relationships that are usually overseen. So thank you for that, Mitesh. Really appreciate that.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, our offices are available. Feel free to reach out to me if you feel like, hey, you got events going on and you say you need a little support. Say, hey, Mitesh, I want some of your Freedom swag or giveaways. Feel free to reach out to me. I do have those in my office, or if it's a big event that you guys are doing, just let me know ahead of time. I can make sure your team's getting there, especially with the situation with your office and picking up materials. Feel free to come to my office and we could definitely help you support our brand and also at the same time go out there and represent the Freedom brand as best as you guys always do.
We appreciate that, Mitesh. Thank you very much for your time this morning. I know you got up early out there, so thanks, buddy. Really appreciate your sacrifice on that, and
Absolutely.
thank you for being
it.
on the call. Absolutely.
Thank you.
You got it. So guys, just in closing real quick, I did post Mitesh's email address. So if you have any questions, go ahead and email him. He's good with that. So he'll respond back to you. And again, thank you guys for being on the call. Thank you for taking in this information and your partnership with Health Plan Markets. If you need anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. We're still here, 844-696-3975. Thank you guys. Have a fantastic week and good luck.